Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode I'm going to be continuing to recap The War Doctor Begins, and in this episode I'm looking at the 2023 releases, as well as I will discuss what happened following the end of the War Doctor Begins range and what it was replaced with. But before any of that, I'm recording this episode on the 16th of February 2026, and we're starting with The War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms, which was released in May 2023, so following the similar release schedule of May and December for the War Doctor range, Begins range in this case, and it continues and actually still into 2026 that still happens, and I will talk about that in a future episode. But here is the synopsis for The War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms. The Doctor is no more. Warriors join the Time War between the Daleks and Gallifrey, but how far will he go? What lines will he cross? How much of himself will he sacrifice? We start off with A Mother's Love, written by Noga Flashon, who is now the producer on the 13th Doctor Adventures, featuring Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor and Mandip Gill as Yaz, but I will get to that in a future episode. The synopsis for A Mother's Love is as follows. Responding to a distress call, the War Doctor arrives on Haven, a state-of-the-art Time Lord-filled hospital operated by the highly advanced Medbay Operation Mainframe, or MOM. But the station has been compromised. Mom's secrets run deep. Time is running out, and the War Doctor must renew some old alliances if everyone is to get out alive. We then have Berserker, written by Timothy X. Attack, with the following synopsis. Sunspire was devastated by the Daleks centuries ago. Last of its people are returning to seek out their heritage in an underground bunker and save their species from extinction. Case and the War Doctor join the mission, posing as a Dalek killer and her squire, but the bunker has an occupant, a single Berserker Dalek, driven insane by 400 years of solitude. We then have Memnos, written by Phil Munrine, with the following synopsis. Memnos, a secret Time Lord project recording everything lost to the Time War, a place where the War Doctor could admit his part in the conflict and seek solace, and perhaps where we can find salvation for Case. But the Dalek time strategist will not let slip her potential. She could be the Dalek's greatest weapon. The battle for Case's soul will be won and lost in Memnos. This set was recorded between the 7th and 9th of November 2022. And the cast includes Jonathan Carley as the War Doctor, where are we up to? Ajis Arwad as Case, as well as Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, and Beth Chalmers as Veclin. But before I let you know my thoughts on The War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms, here's the trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms.
Welcome to Haven. I am the Medbay Operational Mainframe. You can call me Mom.
Field hospital. Fully automated. Top of the line. Built to support the war effort.
Urgent directive from the war room. They lost contact with Haven 2 days ago.
All I can say is, we were attacked by a Dalek skirmish force. A small group, but we were still massively outgunned.
I'm designed to provide the best medical care to any Time Lord or ally.
Oh, no, come on, Veclin, wake up!
We're out of time.
A single Berserker Dalek gained entry. This is one example of a Berserker Dalek. It killed every living soul within. A Berserker blows up, it can pull itself back together again from its own wreck. Then that massacre triggered the shelter's automatic defenses, sealing the doors. That single Dalek remains within the bunker.
Yes, and it's been trapped in there for centuries. That thing is going to be furious.
Kill the Dalek! Save the world!
Missiles primed!
The Doctor always has a plan, an ulterior motive, and this time it's got something to do with Case.
It's all gone! All this! All of you!
It's brought a half-Dalek hybrid to the only place in the universe she can experience her lost homeworld.
And we have come to bring you to your real home, Case.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
Obliterate, annihilate, raise!
That was the trailer for The War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms, and this is a very Case-heavy box set, especially the final story where kind of Case is being pulled in two different directions by the War Doctor and the Daleks, because it turns out that she's, as it said in the trailer, a Dalek hybrid. how delightful. Obviously not. So she kind of is I think she's betrayed by the War Doctor, or feels betrayed by the War Doctors. I can't quite remember how, and then the Daleks kind of prey on that and kind of try and convince her that they are her real family, which obviously the Daleks aren't, because they're Daleks. But I was going to say, yeah, it just kind of, and it leads actually into the next set, which is actually a multi-Doctor set of sorts, because it is the finale of The War Doctor Begins. It titled Enemy Mine, because we have an appearance from Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, but I will get to that in a second. So before I do that, let's read the synopsis. The synopsis reads: the Doctor is no more. A warrior has joined the time war between the Daleks and Gallifrey, but how far will he go? What lines will he cross? How much of himself will he sacrifice? We start off with The Hybrid's Choice, written by Algis Awad Ibrahim, with the following synopsis. The War Doctor believes Case is dead, but her true fate may be worse. Embracing her Dalek nature, recruited to the enemy's cause, but serving her new masters is not easy. The Dalek time strategists know that Case's inner self is in conflict and seeks a way to seal her fate forever. Excuse me. We then have Fear Nothing, written by Mark Wright, who was the producer on the second Doctor Adventures, not anymore, but was been for the first chapter of that story, with the following synopsis. The War Doctor's search for Case is diverted by Commodore Tamsin, summoning him against his will to a remote TARDIS dry dock facility at the very edge of the war. Tamsin has a dangerous proposition, but what is her true agenda? Case has been unleashed by the Daleks to eliminate a key Time Lord asset, an asset who could change the course of the Time War with nothing left to lose. Case has nothing left to fear. We then have Exit Strategy, written by Matt Fitton, and this is a story featuring Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, as you will see now. Here's the synopsis for that episode. Case is with the Daleks, but the Emperor is yet to be convinced of her effectiveness as a weapon. The Dalek time strategist will not give up and takes Case to a secret facility for readjustment. The War Doctor will not give up on Case either. He hopes she can still be rescued, but he is not the man he was, and he may not be the man to save her. This set was recorded between the 26th and 28th of June 2023, and stars Jonathan Carley as the War Doctor, Ajis Awad as Case, Paul McGann as the Doctor, Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, as well as Beth Chalmers as Veclin. So before I let you know my thoughts, here's the trailer for The War Doctor Begins, Enemy Mine.
The cyborg.
Her name is Case.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The War Doctor Begins, Enemy Mine.
You are making excellent progress, Hybrid. Your Dalek siblings are immensely proud of you.
A Dalek facilitator. My own personal therapist.
For your first mission, you will entirely annihilate Tenacity 4.
Feels like what I'm made for.
Of course! This is one of the old TARDIS dry docks.
Behold the next generation in TARDIS weaponization. The prototype Dreadnought class.
But this is abhorrent.
A prototype you will command.
Berserker mode active. Look out! Incoming!
Veclin! Tactical!
There will be no escape.
No! Target locked.
I've got you. Here, take my hand.
I have but one wish. Victory!
Some causes are beyond rescue.
Who are you? Someone who was never here.
I'll find Case. And I'll remove her from the Time War.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
So yes, that was the trailer for The War Doctor Begins, Enemy Mine, and as I was talking about in the when I was talking about Comrades in Arms, the previous release, that kind of it kind of leads straight into this one, as you can see that kind of Case is in this one, and kind of most of this entire box set is the War Doctor searching for Case after the Daleks kind of successfully recruited her, and also the final story features Paul McGann. And it is kind of nice to have a different form of multi-Doctor story, because the War Doctor obviously was in the Day of the Doctor with the 10th and 11th Doctors, but has never met Paul McGann, but obviously remembers being Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, whereas obviously Paul McGann's 8th Doctor is yet to become John Hurt / Jonathan Carley's War Doctor. So, it's very different, and it's a different, because obviously the 8th Doctor is horrified to see who he becomes, but I think he understands, from what I remember at the end of the story, he actually understands that there's a reason why he has to become that person and can't be the Doctor that he was for his first 8 incarnations and from 9 onwards as well. So yeah, it's a very different multi-Doctor story, but this is a kind of, I can't remember much more about it apart from I really like the scenes between Paul McGann and Jonathan Carley, and maybe they should do more 8 and War Doctor multi-Doctor stories. But yeah, kind of, as I said, this was the final release in the War Doctor Begins range, but isn't the end of Jonathan Carley's War Doctor, because I can't remember if we knew going into this release or if it was announced just after that a new range would take the place of the War Doctor Begins. That being the War Doctor Rises, which continues Jonathan Carley's War Doctor's adventures, but I will get onto that in the next episode. So without further ado, let me know what you thought of the releases I talked about in this episode, and let me know what you thought of them if you've listened to them, my recap if you didn't. You can put your thoughts on all of those in the comments below, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.